Recording it.
All right, all right. Welcome everyone for Thursday's class here. I just want to preface right off the bat. I explained to Doris before I hit the record button about my computer woes. I am waiting for the technician to give me a call back. So I might have to just pause the recording and take a call, but hopefully not. Hopefully he'll call me later. Anyway, I know a couple people aren't able to make today. A couple more said they are just running a few minutes late, so but we're gonna get started. So Doris, I'd love to hear any wins, any successes in the last couple days, or just in general. You know, could be part of this program, could be health related, could be anything whatsoever.
Well, I have been having neck issues. I told you, so I've been working with a chiropractor. Today seems a little better.
Oh, that's good. That's
Yeah.
awesome. Yeah, I find my neck is still a little, we were sharing that the other day, it's still a little tight. And I find if I actually do the exercises that the chiropractor gave me, it actually feels better. But, you know, I'll remember like once a day to do them and it feels good. And then
Mhm.
I
Mhm.
forget. So I just really need, he's like do them 3 or 4 times a day, just one set, but 3 or 4 times a day. And I'm lucky if I'm getting it in twice. But anyway.
Mhm.
But good. I'm glad you're feeling better. So the funny that we're starting with not everyone here and not everyone can make it, but the unanimous choice was to go over my supplements. And again, it's not a recommendation, it's just what Deepak does, and then take it from there and ask people ask questions from it. So I'm just going to get started. People join us when they join us here. So first off, I shared on Tuesday that my multivitamin that I'm actually out of, so I don't have the bottle to show, is yeah, I guess it was too quick to recycle the bottle. Is Pure Vitamin Club, their multivitamin. So that's the one I take, and I also take their vitamin D, which I like, and it's because it gets encapsulated with olive oil, and it's a quality olive oil as well. So Pure Vitamin Club, and I can share that link again. But I did share that on Tuesday. So that's the multivitamin. Oh, here's the sketches. Let me look them in. All right. Welcome, Dan, Melissa. If your viewers are there, your cameras are off. Can't see. We just got started. So I'll come back to you guys on your successes at the end. So I was just saying the multivitamin, the vitamin D that I use is or typically use is Pure Vitamin Clubs. Yeah, hi Melissa. We just got started. So and then in no random order because I'm not organized enough. So I'm just going to grab stuff out of my bag because I'm obviously not in my pantry right now. So just randomly. So again, I take elderberry, which I mentioned on Tuesday. Again, only if I feel a little something is coming on, like I'm like a little sore throat or something. I want to just nip something in the butt. I'll throw a little elderberry in there for a couple days, and that's widely found. I mean, I just whatever. This is nature's way, but I mean, whatever you have locally. Again, from the health food store. I also mentioned on Tuesday that if I feel like a little achy or something, I will take turmeric or curcumin, 500 mg. This one does not have pepperine or black pepper with it. But again, rarely take this. My wife actually takes this a lot more than I do. But again, 500 mg on that one. And I think for that you do need to get kind of that 500 or even a gram or potentially more to actually have pain, for pain relief. And obviously, I mentioned I do cooking as a way to get a little bit all the time, but if a little sprinkle of even a very heavily spiced dish with curcumin or turmeric is not going to give you that type of dose for actual pain relief. Uh, Another thing I take is again, this is more of a usually for me a travel hack. It could just be anything, but oil of oregano. So you can take droppers, or this one is encapsulated. And again, sore throat, I will take that. If I actually get that sore throat, I will take it, which again is rare. Usually my throat gets scratchy. I be preventative and then I never get a sore throat. But if I do get a sore throat, I'll take that. The other way I might use oil of oregano is if I'm traveling and on a plane, I might just take it just because again, on a plane, so much recycled air, bacteria going around, etc. So just a way to just kind of hack travel a bit, just to make sure you stay healthy.
How much do you take of that?
I would typically just take one. This is telling me, so this is Joy of the Mountains, the quality brand. No Ariel's here. Let Ariel in. So I'll just take one pill, or one capsule, which is telling me it's the equivalent of 5 drops. And I don't know exactly. This is too small to read in this lighting of how much that is. That is, gosh, I need a magnifying glass. 5 drops. Let's just go with 5 drops, right? I can't read that thing. Hi, Ariel. We just had to get started, so we'll come back to successes and stuff later. Again, so I talked about Bioptimizers. I gave you that link for the magnesium product for the 20% off until Saturday. Gluten Guardian, I don't know if you guys can read that, is one of their products as well. And again, I take this when I'm, we're gonna have pizza as a family. My daughter's birthday is coming up. We're gonna, my nieces and nephews are gonna, we're probably gonna order pizza. I'll definitely pop a couple of those. Someone's special birthday cake or something, whatever. I try not to eat that type of food, but if I do, I take this again. It's a digestive enzyme to help break down gluten. So, and I talked about that last week, actually. I shared that as well. Okay, I sometimes take ashwagandha, which is an adaptogen for kind of stress relief. So if the body's, so again, maybe travel, maybe sickness, or just things feel like they're just really, really stressful, I'll take that. Again, Spot, this is not an everyday thing. And again, Nature's Way, which is just one of the pretty good brands in Canada. I don't know, whatever you can find, but usually the health food store is gonna tell you what's good stuff. Okay, sometimes I will take this as well, berberine. I don't have great lighting here. Obviously, you guys can tell I'm not in my regular setup. I'm in the in the spare bedroom, and this is /second off. So berberine, 500 milligrams. So berberine helps you not have sort of smooths out your glucose. So if you have like a carbohydrate heavy meal, and you take berberine with it, then it can help avoid some of the spikes that you're going to get from a blood sugar level. So it can help with that. So again, if I'm having a carb heavy meal, I'll take that. Again, that's here or there. So a carb heavy meal, that's not having gluten. So glutenish wheat type of meal, Gluten Guardian, another kind of carb heavy meal, I'll take berberine. The other thing that I do, I didn't bring the bottle here, is I do take apple cider vinegar. I don't really measure it out, kind of more free pour, but about a shot of that in a big glass of water, probably 8 to 12 ounces of water before dinner. So again, apple cider vinegar, besides being a probiotic as well, is also helps regulate your blood sugar control. So that's why I take it before dinner, which is typically my carb heavy meal of the day. All right, so astragalus is a root in the ginger family. I will take that every day. And if I feel like a little, I'll take one capsule, which is close to 400. This one is 470 milligrams. And if I feel like something's coming on, or I actually have a bit of a cold or something, I'll double up and take 2 of those. But again, it's just immune system support. So again, with my previous history, and I don't think I've shared this with this group, but I have chronic low white blood cell count. So it doesn't matter what, I can be feeling super healthy, whatever. If you do on standard lab tests, I'll always be low. So I always take astragalus as my immune support. Dan and Melissa or anyone, I don't know, they probably have in the US now. Have you guys heard of Cold FX? I'm sure Dan and Melissa have heard of Cold FX, right? It started in Edmonton, actually. So Eva, when you're watching this replay, we're starting in Edmonton. Anyway, astragalus is like the natural, like Cold FX, basically. All right. Yeah, so I mentioned elderberry. I'll sometimes take echinacea too. Like if I feel like something's coming on, or if I do get a little bit of a cold, like I had a couple, I guess 4 weeks ago now, I'll just double up. I'll throw the whole kitchen sink at it. So I'm taking double ashwagandha, I'm taking elderberry, I'm throwing echinacea in there. I mean, theoretically, echinacea and elderberry kind of work the same, but I'm like, you know what, I'm just throwing it all and maybe they work on different pathways. And again, this one just happens to be a pretty heavy dose. It's 1200 milligrams or 1.2 grams. So that's a pretty hefty dose of echinacea. But again, I would just take one pill. And I just want to preface again, this is not recommendations. This is just what Deepak takes, and we can talk about questions there. So from Pure Vitamin Club, I also occasionally will take B12. So I was low quite a few years ago, and I started taking it, and then my numbers actually just shot up because I was constantly trying to have enough animal protein, and I was supplementing daily, and then my numbers at my B12 actually got too high. Not too high, but it was high. So now I basically don't need to take B12 anymore. And you know, when they have these deals and you buy like, hey, I'm going to buy 5 bottles because it's a really good deal, or they have, you know, Labor Day special or whatever. Now I'm stuck with all this B12. But my wife takes it here and there because she's doesn't need as much red meat specifically, and she just wants to maintain that. So I'll take it once in a while, and this is it's a tablet, but it's a sublingual, so I just throw it under my tongue and let it absorb, because underneath our tongue is very absorbable.
Deepak, what form of B12 is that?
It is it's God, Doris, I can't read in this light here. Maybe
Oh,
I need
okay.
maybe I need a new glasses. You know what? Let's come back to that. I'm just gonna pull up their website later.
Okay.
When I get to the kind of Q&A, and I'll tell you exactly what form it is. It's not the methyl cyanidylcholine, whatever, however you pronounce that.
Something cobalamin. I forgot the first letter.
Methyl, probably. Yeah, yeah. All right. Okay. Then just magnesium breakthrough, right? We just talked about yesterday or Tuesday and last week. So obviously take that every day. Um, so another thing that that I'll take. So this is one. So this is quercetin, 500 milligrams. And again, I used to take this every day as part of my stack. And then, as I talked about on Tuesday, it's like I was trying to cycle things a little bit more, not take 40 pills, whatever. So again, I'll throw this in every couple times a week. And again, it helps. So quercetin is marketed as for blood vessel, capillary protection, which it does, but also very good for the mitochondria, which is, we want healthy, if you guys remember from week 3, healthy mitochondria, healthy aging, right? Okay, and then I did talk about this last week. I know Melissa was really interested in this, is amino acids. Again, and this is just the Kion brand. I just really like their brand because they have all the right, what's the word I'm looking for, a formulation of all the different essential amino acids. Plus, they do a ton of research. They stay up and they change their formula when research says it. So again, Kion, I don't have any code or anything like that for them. And then I just want to say, I did say that, the vitamin D that I do use is Pure Vitamin Club, but I'm out. That doesn't mean I'm not going to take any. So I'm just getting, Jameson is, I don't know if they have them in the US, but they're a pretty well-known Canadian brand. They're okay, but at least they're soft gels. So if you're going to take a vitamin D, you want it in vitamin D is fat soluble, so you want it with a fat, so you want it in a oil. So again, a soft gel that has some sort of fat with it. I would definitely wouldn't bother taking vitamin D that's like in a tablet, or you'd probably be better off getting drops. And quite often you can get drops for your kids, because you can put in their milk or their water or whatever, and it works just fine. Just take more. So again, if we don't even have this stuff in, then we have some leftover vitamin D drops from when the kids were younger, so I'll even take that as well. That reminds me that I forgot to mention, and we can come back to it because I can put it up on the website, but the vitamin D from Pure Vitamin Club comes with the vitamin K2 and K7, I believe. And you actually need to have vitamin K with your vitamin D. to make it more absorbable, more bioavailable. So again, this is kind of cheaper stuff, so it does not have that. So again, so you could argue it's not super effective, but again, I'm just trying to bridge the gap until my order comes in.
Deepak, how do you spell the amino acid? Oh, I'm not on. How do
Oh,
you spell
the
the
brand?
amino acid band?
KION.
Thanks.
Yeah. I can we can look up links later. Okay, so then I talked about this last week as well. Again, another digestive enzymes from Bioptimizers and Masszymes. This is more for breaking down protein and that sort of thing. So again, I will take that on a protein heavy meal. So if I'm having a steak or ribs or something, that I'll take that to make sure that meat is getting broken down into the amino acids for muscle repair, growth, etc. So again, zinc we talked about on Tuesday, and again, zinc with copper, I mentioned that already. So again, the one I'm using right now is just the kind of like cheap drugstore brand type of thing. So again, 50 milligrams, which is maybe actually a bit high, but you probably want 25 to 50. But anyway, that's just what we have at the moment. And then I talked about vitamin C. So again, this is just like Costco brand, right? Like I said, like if there's one place, it just doesn't matter. Obviously quality does matter, but if there's one supplement or one vitamin you're gonna like, doesn't matter. The quality is vitamin C. So again, just Costco brand, whatever. And again, 500 milligrams, but I'll take 1 gram, or if I'm feeling a little something or trying to overcome something, I'll take 1.5. So 2 to 3 tablets is what that typically looks like for me. And then I just it's funny how many we're a big family. Like I mentioned, I'm a huge proponent of vitamin C, as is our family. So I don't know what there's just another brand. We also have the Jamieson brand as well, but these are like flavored ones. So the kids, citrus and banana and whatever. So that's more for the kids. I'm like, I don't care. My vitamin C can taste like nothing or whatever. All right, and then this one here is creatine, right? Which typically is used for people who are working. Creatine monohydrate is the form of creatine. People typically use that for muscle repair. People who are exercising, working out, etc. All great, helps with muscle synthesis, muscle repair. But in the last maybe 10 years, definitely the last 5, there's some research showing that creatine can also be protective for the brain, for brain health. So while any sort of physical benefits are great, I'm more interested at this point for brain health, brain protection. So I throw it in. It's not a daily for me. It's more so because it does have that sort of muscle helping with muscle growth. I'll take it when I do my strength training exercises, but I'm not really taking it for that. I'm taking it more so for the brain health. That's why I'm actually have it in the house, is for the brain health. I literally could take it every day. It's just more of just another thing to take in, and it's a powder, so you gotta. I mean, you can get flavored ones. This is non-flavored, but it's very chalky, so it's not the best mouth feel. So it's like it's not something I want to have necessarily every day. Although you could.
What brand is that?
This is not my usual brand. This is something that I just was able to find. So this is Forever Fit. I don't think it really, I mean, there's better quality ones than not, for sure. With all these things, especially, I'm trying to see if it says on this bottle, but you can see if it's, from was it GMNP facility, if it's certified, organic and GMO free and all these type of things. Like that doesn't necessarily mean they're like the best or whatever, but you at least want to hit some of these type of things. So it's what I was able to get at the time I needed to replace. So yeah. And there's like a million brands. There's a million brands. Like even a Keon that has the aminos, they sell Ben Greenfield's the founder of that company. He sells creatine too. So it's just as long as creatine monohydrate. If it has, I'll just mention this too. This one is not, but if on the ingredients it says creatine as and then trademark Crea Pure, that's actually like top notch. That's so this company, has a proprietary things. It's the cleanest, whatever, and then they just license it to other companies. But if it's Crea Pure, you trademark, that's high quality. That's a really good set. This one is not, but because again, this is just what I could find when I needed a replacement. And again, creatine actually used to be, just as a side, used to be like much easier to find. And again, I don't go to health food stores. Sometimes carry it. There's obviously, like, depending where you live in, obviously in bigger cities, there's kind of like, I don't want to say bodybuilding shops, but they're kind of more like geared to that, so sort of not necessarily the holistic kind of supplements, but more the athletic performance type of supplements. But there's so much more into all these other sort of powders and recovery drinks and growth stuff and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, that in your typical supermarket, those products kind of have seemed, at least where I live, seem to push creatine out. So it's kind of getting harder to find. But again, I could find it, just what's convenient, right? All right, and then collagen. I do use collagen. I like this Organica brand. It's a good blend of quality and cost, and Costco does carry it, and sometimes they have sales, and so my regular grocery store sometimes has the sales as well. So again, just another way to get amino acids, protein amino acids for me. You can get flavored ones. I just get non-flavored, and this I like because it comes from grass-fed cows. So this is not a vegan version, and I prefer cows, and I want grass-fed ones, not ones that ate Smarties or GMO corn or whatever. And I just put it in my coffee. I just mix it into my coffee. That's how I take it. I mean, I could just put it in a shake or whatever. It doesn't matter. Just needs to be sort of stirred up. All right, and the other thing I take, and again, there's a few other things, but I'd grab the most of. So N-acetyl L-cysteine. There, you guys can read that. So this is 600 milligrams, and you probably want to be kind of 500 or half a gram and up. And again, it is a precursor to glutathione. So our bodies produce glutathione ourselves, which is a master antioxidant of our bodies. And as we age, that starts to decrease, or if we have some sort of condition or something, that decreases. You can certainly supplement with glutathione directly. I've taken liposomal glutathione before. I've glutathione IVs, etc. N-acetyl L-cysteine is your body can help. You hope your body can convert it into glutathione for you. And alpha lipoic acid, which I didn't bring because it's basically similar, is also a glutathione precursor. So glutathione is very expensive. N-acetyl L-cysteine is not inexpensive, but it's a lot cheaper. And again, I can't quantify that taking one of these pills is making my body is making into glutathione, but I thought better safe than sorry, can't hurt. And then the last one that I wanted to share with you is something relatively new. I've only been taking it since November of last year. So I ran my summit last year. One of my sponsors was STEM Regen. So they, instead of paying in cash, they paid me in product. So here it is, STEM Regen. So what it is, it's a blend, proprietary blend of 4 different plant compounds that have been scientifically proven to not increase your stem cells, but make your stem cells more mobile. So help your bone marrow release them more. So this is the way the founder, the president and founder of the company. And again, you guys all get, actually, Doris, you came via the summit, right? That's how you found me, was via the summit, correct?
Mhm.
Yeah, so did you watch Christian Dropo's interview?
I missed that one.
Okay. You guys are all going to get access to the summit recordings as part of the bonus for signing up for the program. So you definitely check it out. But I'll just high level recap here is, so say you have some sort of injury, your body, your bone marrow can, I mean, you have stem cells circulating all the time. But if you have an injury and your body detects it properly, right, that's a big if, your bone marrow will produce extra stem cells, and with hopefully the body then sends it to the injury site for helping for repair. So what this is supposed to do is to help not create new stem cells, but help your body release them quicker in a more available way for injury. And again, injury doesn't necessarily mean a broken arm or something like that. It could be chronic. It could be inflammation of our arteries and capillaries and liver, like whatever the case may be. So I don't know. I was already relatively healthy, so I can't tell. I can have no, like, this is helping me out or not. I have no idea, but and I'm you know, it was given to me, so I'm using it until I run out. But this is not an inexpensive product. This is probably the most expensive product that I have. So,
And it's by what company?
Stem Regen.
Stem Regen. And that's the name of the product and the company?
That is the name of the product, and they might have a different company name, but if you look up, yeah, no, the company name is different. Calogen. Kalyagen. That's the name of the company, and Stem Regen is product. I will say this about this though. One of our other speakers in Endorse, I don't know if you got to see him from the summit. A good friend of mine, Dr. Jeffrey Gross from California, and he's got clinics in California and Nevada. This is essentially the only supplement that he sells at his stem cell. He does stem cells and exosomes in his clinic. This is the only supplement that he actually sells in his clinic. So he's the one who introduced me to them to be a sponsor for my summit. So I take that pretty what's what I'm looking for, with great confidence that Dr. Gross recommended them and uses them in his own clinic. And yeah, that is not everything. And I thought about, I could bring all my kids' supplements and stuff too, but I thought, that's whatever. I already have a shopping bag full of that. So happy to get it. You know, Dan will sit if you want to know, but I think it generally the same things go. They're taking relatively the same things. They're just more, again, I said on Tuesday, they're more like taking gummies or things they can mix into their juice or flavor it or whatever. Otherwise, they're not taking all the same stuff. They're taking the basics. But anyway, so that's what I wanted to share. So happy to open up to questions. And while you guys are thinking of questions, I'm going to just look up Pure Vitamin Club and answer those questions from earlier. All right, well, while you're thinking of your questions, Dan, Melissa, and Ariel, what were your successes or wins of this last few days?
I've been doing pretty good with not eating before about 5 o'clock. So that was kind of my goal, not to eat before dinner, and that's been helping. And I find myself, I get so full so quick around when I do have dinner that I can't really eat too much, even if I try. So if I keep doing this, I think it's going to be helpful for me.
Okay, that's awesome. Awesome. Melissa?
For me, actually, just writing things down, I've realized I'm like, oh yeah, I think I'm not drinking enough water. Like I look and then I'm just like, there's no way. So I'm gonna kind of start tracking my water. I didn't really notice before, but now when I'm like writing down, like tracking my food. So I just realized that I think I need a lot
You
more.
need a big mug like Doris has there.
Oh,
What, this?
Yeah. Her big,
Wow.
her big,
Not
I know,
open tea.
I know it's not I can see the tea bags. I know it's not a big beer stein, but,
yeah. So yeah, I need one.
awesome. That's awesome, Melissa. How about you, Ariel?
Trying to think. I think I'm
Remember, it could be anything. It doesn't have to be related to this program or health. It could just be
Yeah.
any
yeah.
win in your life.
Um
I spoke on while you're thinking, I spoke on a summit today. And
oh yay.
all the tech issues that I had, that's why I'm in this room and I'm working off my laptop, etc. Like I literally couldn't get my speech open. And like I finally got it open, like, and you're supposed to be, show up. Well, they want you to participate in the whole summit if you can, but they really don't understand you're only going to be there for your speaking spot, but come 15 minutes early. And literally at 15 minutes early, I finally got everything to work. I was so flustered that I went through my speech like way too fast. Like I had it timed out to fit the time, like is a 15-minute speech. And I think I was done in like 10. Like I just, when I get nervous, I talk fast. So I was like, okay, any Q&A? Anyway, that was my win. So I bought you some time, Ariel. Do you think?
Thank you. It helped. I had a meeting last night, and it's mothers of preschoolers meeting, and we usually serve supper. And before I left, I thought, there's never really enough. They serve little paper cups, not, and I always feel like I don't get enough water with the meal. So I took a water bottle with me, and sure enough, I think I drank most of it during the meal and during supper. Then, so if I keep a water bottle close by that I can just grab, it helps. And
That's awesome.
the best for your body, but I do like it ice. So if it's cold, grab it even more often. But I made it, I thought, that's not quite enough. Need more. I solved the problem. I took it. It worked. All right. And I think I agree with you, Melissa, that if I write things down, I will be appalled at some of the things I'm eating, and I will I will register very, very quickly that no, not getting enough water, no, not getting enough this, that, or the other thing. I'm not really hungry until later in the day, partially because I'm busy and partially because of habit. And then I eat too much other stuff than just meal. I'm eating before 5. That's not a good idea. But I don't eat much during the evening. Whereas my husband eats a lot during the evening. I eat right around that. I get really hungry right around that 4 to 6 period. So if I'd have a couple little snacks, maybe in the afternoon when I'm starting to get hungry that are healthy and not chocolate, I'd probably eat better at supper. But I gotta think it through. I'm noticing what I'm eating more. That's
Yes, that is a success. That's awesome. I applaud all of you for that, for what you shared there and then those changes. And, just to Ariel, obviously much like Melissa, just that noticing about the water and having more water. And, it sounds like I think I almost heard that, like, Ariel, like bit of a habit changer. I know I need to drink, I grab a bottle. I drink more if I have a water bottle. I drink more if it's cold and has ice. That sort of thing. And then also just, being cognizant. I would just suggest, potentially why you maybe feel you're eating so much at dinner time, or why you're so hungry at dinner time, is because you just haven't had it. You're like actually in a caloric deficit. Your body, like, there's a transition period, right? You can't just go kind of cold turkey and cut calories. And not suggesting that's what you're doing. And just, there could be that your body's like, I actually need more. And that if you had that, like you said, snack, but much like when we talked with Ava and went through Ava's food, and I can't remember if you were on that call or not, but just like, instead of, could a couple days a week with that snack, instead of being chocolate or whatever it is, be some cut celery or carrots or a banana or whatever, you know, type or whatever's in season type of thing. So, great, that's awesome. So just to answer that question, it is, yeah, methylcobalamin is the
Mhm.
B12, as I said, and it also has a tiny bit of calcium citrate in there as well. And then I just want to talk about their D3 as well.
Can I ask 2 questions while you're looking
Yes, absolutely, of course.
pertaining to water? So I heard that, when you having a meal, you shouldn't be drinking a lot of water because it tends to dilute your hydrochloric acid that some comes out. So you should drink less water during meals. That's one. And two, water shouldn't be drunk when it's really cold. Should be more body temperature. These are two of the things I've heard over and over again from different places. I don't remember where. Is there any truth to that?
So I think the first one is going to depend, right? If you have stomach acid issues, that type of thing,
Mhm.
yeah, I could see that. I don't think that's like, and honestly, that's not my like super zone of genius, like low stomach acid, that or that sort of thing. I think it's a well, one, let's just take a step back. Generally, it's a good idea to try and hydrate throughout. So I'm a big like have a nice big glass first thing in the morning, right? And then sip throughout the day, but be consistent and not have to be caught up. And I'll be admit, sometimes I'm terrible at that. I shared that, I'll have after my sauna. Again, I've dehydrated myself because I was in the sauna, but I have to have a big glass. But that's really my first, outside of the first one first in the morning, that's my first big glass of the day, and I probably should do that more. So again, so to answer your question, Doris, I think it's if we're prudent and have enough hydration throughout the day, we don't necessarily need to be drinking a ton of liquid, water or otherwise, while we're having our meal. I don't really drink anything. I mean, again, I have that big glass somewhere between, anyway, sometimes as short as 15 minutes, sometimes it's an hour before I have my meal, and I don't drink anything till like probably half an hour afterwards. I go that whole period of not having anything. Now, am I getting liquid? Am I getting water from my salad or my cucumbers and whatever? Yes, right. So, I think that's just a good practice. Again, that's not my zone of genius, so whether that should be avoided per se to address your exact question, I can't really say. And then the second part of your question, sorry, can you remind me, what was the second part of the question?
Body temperature, water.
Oh, the temperature, yeah.
It's really cold.
Yes, I hear that all the time too, and I believe that notion of, it should be room temperature or, maybe just slightly cool, but not cold. I think that comes from, I think in parallel, I might be mistaken here, from Ayurvedic medicine and traditional Chinese medicine. And I think that's why we hear it a lot, because even, people in the West, obviously a lot of them study Ayurvedic or study traditional Chinese medicine. I think that's where that comes from. There's probably something to be said for that. I think it is a bit of a shock having very, very cold water. That being said, if I'm working out and I'm sweating and my body temperature is hot, I want as cold water as possible. And it can certainly help regulate your body temperature if you're hot, right? That is a way to regulate your body temperature type of thing. So I think it depends. I don't know. Let's put it this way: when something's been around, that notion of lukewarm, we should drink all our water lukewarm or even warm or even. Well, I also don't think you should drink too hot all the time, water, right? Like you have your teas, but I don't think it should always be hot. So I think that notion of lukewarm, it's been around for forever. When things have been around for a long time, and I'm not talking like it's been around for 60 years, I'm talking about it's been around for hundreds of years. There's probably something to it. That is probably a good practice. I've never really studied that as like, because of this, it helps digestion, because of whatever, it keeps your blood vessels, properly dilate, whatever the case may be. I'm just making something up right now. Like I have never seen anything like that. So I think that's a good practice, but also, for me personally and for anyone else, I mean, having cold water, um, helps regulate your body temperature, so. I think it has a place. I think both, just as hot, really hot water. Obviously we don't want to burn our tongue or anything like that, but I think really hot also plays a role. Oh, one thing I forgot to grab. I meant to, and thank you for just reminding me. Your tea mug there. I did mention this on Tuesday. I do have a mushroom blend. It's a powder. I think it's 12 different mushrooms there. Again, sort of shotgun approach. And I'll take that either immune system support. I'm feeling a little bit run down, or it's really, and it does get here really freaking cold, and I want a hot drink, and it's well past coffee time. I don't want any caffeine. Then I'll have that as my hot drink. Again, more so to like I want to warm up my core temperature because like the house is cold, or I just came inside from shoveling the snow and it's -4, whatever the case may be, type of thing. So yeah, great question, Doris. I don't think I completely answered your question, but I think hopefully that's you feel good with that.
I would be interested in the mushroom tea.
Yeah, I mean, if you want, I could email the brand.
Okay.
I don't know what's available, but again, you want to go to the health food store and find something. And sometimes there's,
Okay.
I mean, you can get them individual too. I don't know why it's escaped me at the moment, the brand, but you can get just cordyceps or just reishi, or again, each mushroom has its own what sort of like works on something. They're supposed to help be beneficial for something or multiple things. And again, I just want to take the kind of shotgun approach too. I do like it for lion's mane, which is again for brain health. I have taken lion's mane mushroom supplements on their own. But again, we have to make our choices, and then taking all these things can get spendy sometimes. So again, more of a shotgun approach at this point. I did want to go back to Pure Vitamin Club's vitamin D plus K. So it has vitamin K1 and both forms of K2, which is, I'm going to try and pronounce this, menacoin 4 and menacoin 7. So again, I think it's important to have a quality brand, and you don't have to get Pure Vitamin Club. And again, I have no affiliation with them anyway, but I think it's good to have vitamin K on board while you're taking your vitamin D. And I know my sister, she buys them separately and takes them at the same time, but she buys vitamin K separately from vitamin D, and some come together and what have you. So. Any other questions I can answer for anyone?
No.
I'm just going to talk about, oops, that's not what I do.
Dan hasn't.
I was trying to write down kind of all the things that you had talked about and kind of what they do and all that. I'm just wondering, do you have a list of kind of the things you take and what they're basically used for and how much you take of them? I'm just wondering if you have kind of a list of that, or if you could.
I do not. I have a list because at one point this is sometime during COVID, I went to a new naturopathic doctor to get an IV. I think it was, an NAD IV, and I just had to fill out all their forms, blah, blah, blah. And one of their forms, because it was somebody I'd never used before, and that's just, the practice that they have. So I had to make a list of everything that I take, and that's more exhaustive than what I talked about today, because I was taking more different things. And so I could provide that list. But as far as dosages and what for, I would suggest, Dan, is like watch the recording of this, and you'll get most of that, because I think I said most of that for the most part for all of these through. I just wanted to share about the multi-cap. Again, why I like it. So again, I think it's a good one. It's a clean product. They don't have any fillers or anything like in that. But again, I'm just going to read the ingredients, and I won't get into dosages. But just because it's a very robust vitamin A, vitamin C. I mean, they just throw a little bit in. It's not enough vitamin C, but a little bit of vitamin D, not enough. Again, it's kind of a shotgun approach here, but A, C, D, E, K, B1, B2, B3, pantothenic acid, biotin, B6, B12, folate, potassium, choline, calcium, phosphorus, magnesium, zinc, manganese, copper, iodine, selenium, and molybdenum. So again, those ones at the bottom are just trace, but there's like enough trace that's like you're kind of you're covered there. If you were low on selenium, yes, you want to supplement. If you were low on copper, etc., you'd want to supplement more, or any of these things. But I think it's a really great formulation of your main things you want, plus a lot of these trace elements, but it's also clean. They don't have any like fillers and stuff in there, type of thing. So anyway, again, I have no affiliation. You know, I like that product. That's what I use, but find your own, whatever you want to use. So, all right, we've got about 8 minutes left. Any other questions? And Dan, let me just sorry, Melissa. Dan, would that be helpful to send you that list of what I sometimes take or did take at that time, or that's not maybe helpful because it doesn't have the dosages and stuff?
No, I can just listen to it. All I'm gonna do is just write down the 20 things you said, and then just maybe write down the things that you said that they basically do, like you said for the drops of oregano oil,
Sore
sore
throat,
throat,
yeah.
this. I'm just gonna write that down, kind of in
Okay,
a or
sounds
something
good.
like that.
Sounds good. Awesome. Melissa, you had a question?
I remember, did you say you keep all those in the fridge? Now I can't remember what you said.
No, if I had a second fridge and I could, and Andrea would give me a whole shelf dedicated to it, I would keep them all in the fridge, or at least all the backups, like not the ones that I'm, that are the current bottles that are open. But we do have our wine cellar, which is cool. It's not cold, but it's cooler, and so all the backup ones are down there. So these are just
Worried about the heat here. Like I don't know.
It's always 30 degrees.
Yeah, like, do you
basically.
think our stuff is okay? I mean, some of it's been sitting there, for months.
Well, heat is definitely going to degrade it, and the other thing that I sometimes worry about too, it depends what cabinet is it, like right above the stove, is it near the stove, and how often you're using this, all these types of things as well. So heat is definitely going to degrade. Cold is better for preserving, obviously. So, and like most of these things are going to get, well, if it's refrigerated at the store you bought it from, you probably want to refrigerate it at home. So your, probiotics, not always, but typically, I talked about very briefly about glutathione that we had used in the past, liposomal, that has to be refrigerated. Fish oil, once you open it, like that should be refrigerated to preserve, et cetera, et cetera. So what I'm trying to say is like maybe some of these, I didn't talk about my fish oil. I didn't bring that bottle because it's refrigerated, right? So I take a fish oil as well every day. I think I mentioned that before. So I would say some of the more, the staples you're using all the time, maybe don't, again, it depends, like fish oil or something. I would say, yes, refrigerate it like all the time. But if it's something that you're using regularly, frequently, or let's say you and Dan are using the same bottle, so it's a 30-day supply bottle, but because you both, it's 15 days, like maybe you don't have to bother because you're just going to go through it quickly enough. But if it's something where it's like a once in a while, like maybe the oregano oil, like maybe you're only using that, twice a year, or maybe with all the kids, like maybe that's only a handful of times a year, like maybe that's when you want to refrigerate to keep it at its potency, right?
Okay.
So, yeah, good question. Or even maybe just a dedicated like mini fridge or mini bar fridge or something. Maybe that just becomes your supplement thing or whatever. So.
Maybe.
Or I'm assuming you guys have AC, right? So maybe there's like is there like one room that's always a little colder or something, or like maybe keep it there in a box or a bag in front of the AC. I don't know. I'm just off the top of my head.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we'll think up something. Yeah.
You guys have different problems than the rest of us have, so.
Yeah. Yeah, and it would be good to know the kids' vitamin too, maybe at some point, just kind of.
So just FYI, so Pure Vitamin Club actually has a kids version as well. It's exactly the same. It's just literally half the dose. The pill is
Okay.
smaller. So I bought it for my kid, and it's the tiniest thing. They still can't swallow a pill. So we had to well, we started like opening them up and putting in their thing and mixing up and whatever, but they take other stuff now. But when I ran out, there was still some of the kids stuff. So I just took 2 of their pills. It's the exact same formula, just half the dose. So they do have one. I will just say my kids, let me just look here. They take vitamin C like I showed you already, right? They'll take, like the flavored ones, so berry or whatever. They take magnesium, but magnesium gummies. They take turmeric gummies. They take vitamin D. Well, we have drops on. They also do. My kids get a lot of sun, so they don't actually take a ton of vitamin D. I feel like I'm missing something. Oh, they take an omega-3 as well. So they don't like I take a liquid, right? I don't mind. Mine is flavored. So if you don't shake it well, it tastes like the. If you shake it well, then it tastes like tangerine is our favorite in our household, tangerine flavor. So I think that's more a better effective way to take your omega-3 is liquid form, but the kids can't do it. They don't like the oily taste of it. So we essentially, it's like candy. It's not the best, but it's a gummy basically. It's like candy. So they'll pop 2 of those to get their omega-3 worth. So it's kind of funny now. It's kind of funny now because my older daughter, who's turning 13 here, and later this month, from and she's fairly tall. Both my kids are. From a body size point of view, she's like that point where now like she could take literally adult doses, right? So it's like, but she still wants to take the kid's gummy, but literally she should take an adult dose. So she's like, an adult dose would be like 6 of these gummies. She's like, but even her, even though they're like candy, she's like, I don't want to take 6, especially when it's 6 of these and 4 of those. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's like you need to learn how to swallow a pill. So. All right, 2 minutes left. One last question I can answer for anyone? And while you're thinking of that, I'll just say next week we start on movement. Our last couple of weeks, we're talking on movement and exercise and cardio and strength training and all that sort of thing as well. Any other questions? Doris?
No.
No? You have an inquisitive look on your face. I thought you had something to ask. No. Okay.
Oh, well, yeah, I do have a question then. Have you ever
Okay.
heard of brands like Pure Encapsulations, Thorn Research?
Yeah, Thorn is a good brand. Thorn's a good brand. Pure Cancellations, I've heard of them. It's one of so many companies use Pure in their name as like a marketing thing, and I get confused. So I've heard of it. I off the top of my head, I can't talk. I couldn't tell you quality, but Thorn is a good quality product, quality company. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Thorn's good. Keon is good for the products they have. Bioptimizers is good. I'm trying to think of some others. Yeah, drawing a blank at the moment, but yeah, if you have any questions on a particular brand company, just shoot me an email.
Okay.
Or messenger or tech, whatever type of thing. So, all right, well, I'll let you all go for the rest of your evening and or for the sketches for the rest of their day ahead. And yeah, we'll see you on because with my computer and whatever, I will try and get the recording up today, but I might wait till I actually have my actual computer back. We'll see. I might get it up today. But anyway, we'll see you all on Tuesday. Have a great weekend, everyone. And take care.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.